A very good day to all of you. In the lesson today, we are going to talk about articles. In grammar, articles do not refer to the written articles that we normally read, but in grammar, articles refer to a, an, and also the. So those are what we call as articles, and we use them every day and in almost every sentence that we speak in our daily life. So a and the are articles. So let us take a look at some examples of articles. So articles are words that define a noun as specific or unspecific. So let us take a look at examples here. So people were talking about a crocodile appearing on the riverbank while the kids were bathing. So here we have the article a crocodile. So when we say people were talking about a crocodile or there is a crocodile in the river, when we use the article we have created a general statement. So it could be any crocodile in the river, any one crocodile in the river. But when we say people were talking about the same crocodile that kept on appearing on the riverbank while the kids were bathing, when we say the crocodile is in the river or the crocodile is in the water, so we are talking about a specific crocodile that everyone knows. So when we say there is a crocodile in the river, it could be any crocodile, one crocodile, but when we say the crocodile is still in the river, so that means we are referring to the crocodile that we know. It could be the crocodile from yesterday or the crocodile from 2 days ago. For example, when we say um, there is a car in the parking lot. So it could be any car that belongs to anyone. And when you say to your friend, for example, when you say the car is at the parking lot, so you are referring to the car, a car that you know, and a car that your friend knows. Um, so that is the difference. Is general, but the is more specific. So we don't say a sun, we don't say a moon, we say the sun and the moon because there is only one sun and there is only one moon that all of us know about. So there is no other sun and moon, but we can say we can see a planet in the sky tonight. So because there are many planets, a planet could be one planet from out of the many planets. The planet can be seen tonight. So when you say the planet can be seen tonight, the planet could be one type of planet that you know and that other people know. For example, we are talking about Mars. So Mars can be seen on the sky tonight. So you say the planet can be seen on the sky tonight. So that is the difference between a and the. So by using the, we have shown that it was the same crocodile in the river. So the same crocodile. So we have two types of articles. One is definite article, one is indefinite article. So definite article would be something that we know, or a thing, a person. For example, when we say the vice chancellor of UMK, so that person, we are referring to the same person that we know. The headmaster of the school. Um, um, Indefinite article would be something that is more general. For example, um, a and and. So when do we use a and when do we use and? So normally is used before a consonant and N is used before a vowel. So we don't say a umbrella, we say an umbrella because it is followed by A, E, I, O, and also U. So we say an elephant instead of a elephant. So other than A, E, I, or U, it is preceded with an A. So a car, a building, a table, and a chair. And an ant, an elephant, an individual, an orangutan, an umbrella. But there are some exceptions in which we'll talk about later. So we'll have to be careful when we use the article. So for example, when you say please give me a water, so that is grammatically incorrect. What you would say is please give me some water or please give me a cup of water. So this is correct because we are referring to a cup of water. So water is uncountable. You cannot count. So when you cannot count, you don't use the article. Only the things that you can count, you use an article. So like a car. So you can count 1, 2, and 3. 3 cars. But water, sugar, food, you cannot count. So when you cannot count, you don't use a unless you have a countable thing like a cup, a plate of rice, a cup of water. So you don't say, please give me a rice. So that is grammatically wrong. But if you say the water or the rice, that is correct. That is definite article referring to the same um, water or rice that you are referring to. For example, there is an apple in the kitchen on the table. So you say to your mother, can I eat the apple? So that is correct because you are referring to the same apple that your mother knows on the table. Um, Please give me an ice. So ice is uncountable. You cannot use an. Please give me an ice cube. So this is correct because cube is countable. So there are some exceptions. Um, my mother is a honest woman. So we have talked earlier that if we have vowels, it should be followed by n. But there is an exception. So honest, the pronunciation is not honest. The pronunciation is honest. It is as if it starts with an O, not an H. So we say an honest instead of a honest. So my mother is an honest woman. So that is an exception, although we have a consonant here. So the same goes to university. Although it starts with a U, but the pronunciation is as if you use the letter Y. So UMK is a university located in Malaysia versus university is an university. So you don't say an university, but you say a university because the pronunciation starts with the sound of the letter Y, university, instead of university. So the same goes to the word unique. So a unique person, not an unique person, although you have a U there. So we have talked about a definite article, the, indefinite articles, a and an, and the differences. And now there are also situations where we don't use articles at all. For example, we say talent is needed if you want to be an artist. So we don't normally say a talent or the talent is needed if you want to be an artist. let us go out for dinner tonight. So we don't have to say let us go out for a dinner or for the dinner tonight, because these are abstract ideas. Abstract ideas means something that you cannot touch but you can feel. So talent you cannot touch but you can feel. I'm going home now. So you don't say I'm going to a home or I'm going to the home now. So home is referring to somewhere you live. It is not something that you can touch. But if you say house, yes, you can say a house or the house. But when you say home, I'm going home tonight or I'm going home now, because the class is too boring. So abstract ideas, we don't use articles, be it a, the, or an. And then language and countries, we don't use articles. So you say I studied English for more than 10 years. You don't say I studied an English or I studied the English for more than 10 years. She's leaving for Australia next week. So you don't say she's leaving for the Australia or for an Australia, because language and countries, normally we don't use articles. And sports and subjects. I like to play badminton. You don't say I like to play the badminton or I like to play a badminton. I like to play badminton because normally with sports and subjects like mathematics, we don't use articles. So she is always good at math. So you don't say she is always good at the mathematics or a mathematics. So with sports and subjects, language and countries, abstract ideas, things that we can feel but we cannot touch, we don't use articles. So we say zero articles. So we have talked about articles, and the difference. The differences between and the is that for the, it is something that we know. So can I eat the apple on the table? So that means you know the apple, and your mother in the kitchen knows that there is an apple on the table. So referring to the same apple. And an is more general. Could be any apple, could be any car on the road, could be anything, a crocodile in the river, that we have never seen. So the difference between a and an is that an precedes a, e, I, o, u, with an exception of words like honest, university, and also hour, H-O-U-R, but the pronunciation is hour instead of hour. So we say an hour instead of a hour. So those are articles. So you'll have to make sure that when you are writing and when you are speaking, you use the correct articles with the correct situation. And when there is a situation or a sentence where no articles is needed, so you use zero articles. No need to use articles based on the proper um, situations that you are in. So thank you for your attention. I'll see you again in the other videos.